atrocious turnover. I don't remember when it. I just remember watching the play. I don't remember quite what quarter it was or what the situation was.
He was in only the second quarter.
Yeah, and he was scrambling out, and he could have easily just thrown the ball away. He could have even scrambled for some yards. Yeah. I don't think there's anybody in front of him. But then he just zinged it like 10 yards into like quadruple coverage. Yeah. I think there were two Nittany Lions in between whoever the receiver was who was trying to throw it to. It's like shades of Rex Grossman or Brett Favre. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah. If you want to play, but I mean, making stupid plays is just, it kills teams. Yeah. It kills drives and it kills momentum. And I don't know why Marv was in. He was 2 for 5. He had that one interception. Turbush had 2. But, 2 for 5, 20 yards.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, why bother?
Why is he in there?
Yeah. No, I like I said, I'm off that Marv bandwagon. Yeah. Turbush has managed the game well. And I think we're starting to get, an identity for this offense. We're starting to hit on all cylinders. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. Right. Maybe this weekend is a breakout game for our offense. We're just waiting for that click.
Yeah, it's now or never, I think, for them. Because, like I said, the road doesn't get any easier out. So they got to start really making some strides.
Defensively, I thought they came to play. I mean, these last 2 games to start off Big Ten, the line is getting pressure, which we didn't see in non-conference play. Right. And our secondary has been locking down on their receivers a lot these last 2 games.
Yeah, when their lead receiver was Justin Brown. Yeah, I think the longest completion he had was 34 yards. That was out of his 86. So that's it's less than half, but it's I mean, there were really no true big plays in the receiving game aside from that one. I think there were a couple 20-yard ones too, but no big plays, no huge mistakes in the secondary. Like I said, you'd like to see the pass rush. I think we had 1 sack this year, but you'd like to see a little bit more pass rush, especially this upcoming week against Nathan Shieldhouse. They're gonna, he's a tank. He does everything for Illinois. So I'd like to see them try and get a little bit more physical. They're definitely going to have to, or else Nathan might have a bust out game. So, but overall very consistent. They no ginormous plays in the run game. I think there was one. Red had a 17-yard run. So, no big plays, and, that's a good start.
The running attack is their strength for Penn State.
Yeah, and he didn't even average 5 yards a carry, so I would say that's a good feat.
On the coaching front, to be honest, the coaching staff did their job, with the exception for the end of the second half there. We got the ball with all 3 timeouts left. We got the ball with, I believe, 1:33 left. Maybe we do have Carson Wiggs. Granted, he's missed it, but here's your chance to, if you can't move the ball,
try and get in position,
can't get it to the opponent's 30-yard line and you're at midfield, he's got a leg to actually try and, actually make that. See, there's a kind of the situation where
there's a situation where you could foreseeably do it.
To Purdue coming out of the timeout, official timeout when, switching sides, we ran the ball.
Yeah.
And then we used a timeout.
Yeah, no, it was like 2 runs, and then they decided to pass.
Yes, and then they decided to pass.
It's like, if you're going to pass,
and then they got the first down.
Yeah.
Then they ran twice again. Yeah. Called a timeout with, I believe, it was 34 seconds left. And then that third down play is when Marv threw the interception.
It was 2 draws too. It wasn't even like it was just 2 stupid little draws that got like a few yards.
Yeah, barely.
It's like if you're gonna try and score, try and score. Don't run and then take a timeout. And it's like figure out. I remember that. That was kind of like what's going on. I remember I was talking to my roommate.
I thought the coaches managed the game well. They had a good game plan defensively and offensively. I hope we see it again this coming week for homecoming.
Yeah,
Mike introduced Week 7.
Alrighty, here's our big homecoming game, I guess you could say. You get excited.
Oh, yeah.
It is a noon game at Ross-Ade Stadium. The game will be televised on ESPN2 for all you guys that aren't going to be going to the game. And, of course, we are facing the Illinois Fighting Illini, who are 6-1, 1-1 so far in the Big Ten. Last week they had a bad loss. Well, not a terrible loss, but they lost to Ohio State 17-7. Their key players, the best player on their team is their sophomore quarterback, Nathan Shieldhouse. He's 100 for 154 completion-wise on the season, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. He also leads the team in rushing with 110 carries for 396 yards. This guy's their offense. Basically, they roll with him. If he rolls, they roll. So that'll be a big player to look for. Their senior wide receiver, A.J. Jenkins, has 54 receptions for 895 yards, 7 touchdowns. and their sophomore linebacker, Jonathan Brown, leads the team with 47 total tackles, 3.5 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. So, Steve, what are we going to have to do offensively, defensively?
Well, this past weekend, like you said, they lost to Ohio State. And Ohio State proved that you could run the ball against the Illini.
Right.
They only had 1 pass completion the whole entire game. They actually threw 4 times and only had 1 completion.
Yeah.
So, right there.
This just boom, pound and
This
run.
is kind of like saying, hey, this is our game, rushing attack, Purdue.
This works.
Also, yes, you're going to have to run the ball against Illinois, but you got to have a vertical game too.
Yeah.
I know, we're not Ohio State.
Right, we don't have the line of like a brick wall.
Right, to just run the whole
to just
entire
pound
time.
people. Yeah.
Right. So, yes, stick with the running attack against this team. It's going to work. Ohio State proved it. We have a great offensive line. And also have a vertical game.
Yeah.
And I play Turbush the whole game.
Yeah, you don't need to stick Marvin and have him
yeah,
throwing picks and looking like whatever he looks like.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I do.
Defensively, if you contain Shieldhouse and limit him to the big plays, you'll win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ohio State proved it this weekend.
Yeah.
I think his longest play, rushing, he only had the longest run he had was 17 yards.
Right.
And passing,
right,
I think 30 yard was his longest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I think defensive line, this was going to come down to in this game.
Yeah.
If they can contain him, then I think Purdue will be fine. But like I said, if you let him get on a roll and he's just making plays left and right, their offense can be scary. So it's up to our defensive line to come up big, I think, this week.
And Purdue's defense better get used to this dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
Because the week after this, we got Michigan and Denard Robinson.
Yeah, Denard Robinson, who's basically Steelhouse and then some.
You're going to see it these next 2 weeks. Start in practice, get the game plan in for these guys. Prediction.
Go for it. I'll let you take the reins this time.
I'm going to predict Purdue will win homecoming.
Yeah.
21-13.
Yeah, I have it a little bit closer, but look, this team, like you said, we discussed this before. 4 or 5 plays away from being 5-1 right now.
Yeah.
Purdue has proven a lot of things. They've proven they can play good, and they've proven that they can play really sloppy.
Yeah.
But I think if they can come out and play a good game, I think it's going to be a close game just because I'm a little bit iffy on our defense against Nathan Shieldhouse. But I think that our offense will come out, put some points on the board, especially at home. I think Purdue wins 17-14.
Yeah, we got it right around there, yeah.
That'll be Mr. Wiggs, I guess, and that he'll have to come through this week.
Yeah. So, all right, let's switch gears and do some college picks before we go to break.
All right.
2 weeks ago, we were both 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
Good week in the college picks.
Yeah.
You overall are 21-9, and I am 24-6. So I still got a 3-game edge over you, Mike.
All right.
First game, USC at Notre Dame in prime time on NBC.
I'm liking Notre Dame. They're going on to win. I think they've won 4 in a row.
Yep.
And look, they really don't have a hard schedule really until they play Stanford. I think it's their last game.
Yeah.
So I think they're really looking on getting on a roll and just keeping on winning. I think they're going to beat Lane Kiffin's Trojans.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Mike. Notre Dame's coming off a bye week. Getting guys healthy. They played 5 tough games. 6 tough games. Half of the Big Ten they play.
Yeah.
And they played Purdue well. We know what happened. But
there.
they played Michigan State, South Florida, and Pittsburgh. I like Notre Dame in this game, and I think it's going to be a big win for Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Next game, number 20, Auburn at number 1, LSU.
Yeah. I think I said 2 weeks ago that I don't see them losing a game, and I really don't. It doesn't matter how bad or good their offense plays, their defense will never give up enough points for them to lose. So, I got LSU.
Yeah, defense is going to win this game. Auburn had a defensive battle against Florida over the weekend, but LSU is 10 times better on defense.
Yeah.
So, I got number 1, LSU. Third game, number 17, Texas A&M at Iowa State.
I'm liking Texas A&M. They've come off a good, I think they won 53-30 over 20-ranked Baylor last week. And then Ryan Tannehill had 6 touchdowns in that game throwing. He was lighting it up. I think he had 415 yards. So I think, they're on a roll. A&M's going to be too much for Iowa State.
I'm going to pull up the upset here, Iowa State. Iowa early in the year had that upset against Big Ten rival Iowa. And I think you could, why not? Another
Go for it.
Another upset. Hey, it's at home. You got the home crowd.
Yeah.
Iowa State. Fourth game, number 6, Wisconsin at number 16, Michigan State. College game day game.
You know, Michigan State's looking good, but look, Wisconsin is arguably, I think, could be argued as the best team in the nation, if not in the top 3. And I think Russell Wilson so far, I mean, he's got that offense. They're scoring over 50 points a game. I think he's an early runner for the Heisman, and their offense is just too good for anybody. You know, maybe LSU or Alabama's defense could make them. But no, their offense is too much. Wisconsin's going to steamroll them.
Yeah, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good Big Ten battle. You know, it's going to be under the lights. Michigan State played well against Michigan.
They did, yeah.
And, you know, everyone knows what Wisconsin's doing. This is Wisconsin's first test, I think.
Yeah.
Because Nebraska is a big test, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it was at home.
Yeah, different environment, absolutely.
You're going on the road now against a top 20 team. But I like Wisconsin in this game. Last game, number 25, Washington at number 8, Stanford.
I'm going to have to go with Stanford. Washington's given up 28.5 points per game. Their defense gives up points, and Andrew Luck is Andrew Luck. So, yeah, I'm going with Stanford.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Mike. Andrew Luck is the name of the game in this one.
Yeah.
And Stanford big.
Yep. All right. Steve and I are going to take a little short break. The Red Zone is up next. You're listening to Sports Night on WCCR.
Sports Night keeps you up to date with Purdue Athletics and with news from the world of sports on WCCR.
Of